Eileen Grimshaw from Coronation Street has revealed a heartbreaking truth after the return of her son, Jason Grimshaw. Earlier this year, it was announced that Jason would be coming back to Weatherfield after a 9-year absence, with Ryan Thomas stepping back into the role for a special appearance. Jason made his comeback on tonight's episode following the funeral of Eileen's sister, Julie Carp, marking his return to the soap just before his on-screen mother, played by Sue Cleaver, begins her exit storyline. At the same time, Eileen's boyfriend, George Shuttleworth, has been planning to propose, although their relationship has shown signs of strain recently. In the latest episode, friends and family gathered to say goodbye to Julie, and Eileen gave Brian a letter written by her late sister. After reading Julie's letter, Brian confronted Eileen at the Rovers, questioning why she never disclosed that she was the sole recipient of Julie's life insurance. Eileen insisted she had no idea about the arrangement until after Julie passed away, explaining, "I didn't know Julie had chosen me. I was just as surprised as you when I found out about the policy." When Tracy hinted that Eileen may have been involved in Julie's death to claim the payout, an outraged Eileen threw her drink in Tracy's face. During a game Julie had dreamed up, where everyone shared their aspirations, George revealed to Eileen that his biggest wish was to marry her. He told her, "I've always wanted to ask you to be my wife, to treat you like royalty. You deserve nothing less. So what do you think, eh?" Before Eileen could respond to the unexpected proposal, her son Jason arrived abruptly, leaving George awkwardly lingering, awaiting her answer. Eileen told George she believed he was only joking, which left him feeling crushed. Later, back at home, he admitted that his proposal had come at the worst possible moment. A heartbroken George then heard the painful truth from Eileen, who confessed she didn't want to marry him. She said, "I don't want you to propose because I don't want to be your wife. You're a wonderful man, and hurting you is the last thing I ever wanted to do. I truly wish I felt the same way, but I just don't. I'm really, really sorry." Coronation Street airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX. Coronation Street murderer denies charges despite being guilty. A shocking twist unfolded in Coronation Street tonight, as a suspected killer may have doomed himself by choosing to plead not guilty to a murder charge, raising tensions to a boiling point in the long-running soap. Mick Michaelis, at the center of the brutal crime, is accused of savagely attacking and ultimately killing PC Craig Tinker just weeks ago, a violent incident that has sent shockwaves through Weatherfield. Mick now stands formally accused of Craig's murder, a charge that could see him behind bars for life. The fatal confrontation began when Craig, carrying out a standard stop for suspected drink driving, pulled Mick over. What should have been a routine traffic check escalated into horror when Mick suddenly lashed out, using a baseball bat as a weapon. He struck Craig with a crushing blow to the head, leaving the officer gravely injured, unconscious, and bleeding on the roadside. Despite being rushed to hospital for emergency treatment, Craig's condition rapidly worsened. Medical staff were unable to save him, and the beloved officer tragically passed away from his catastrophic injuries. In the aftermath, Weatherfield police acted swiftly. Mick was brought in for questioning and tried to mislead detectives with a false alibi, but his story quickly unraveled under scrutiny. As evidence mounted, he was formally charged with murder. But the drama didn't stop there. DC Kit Green, who has a long-standing vendetta against Mick, took matters into his own hands. Earlier this week, Mick was brutally assaulted in prison, and it soon emerged that Kit had orchestrated the attack, part of a calculated scheme to pressure Mick into confessing to the crime and severing all ties with his son, Brody Michaelis. However, Mick refused to back down. In a defiant move, he rejected Kit's threats and manipulation, choosing instead to plead not guilty in court, a decision that could place him in even greater danger. The explosive revelation came to light when Lou Michaelis, Mick's wife, visited him behind bars. She later disclosed everything to Brody and Bernie Winter, leaving both stunned. Bernie, fiercely protective of her son, was particularly appalled by the claim that Kit was behind the prison attack, adamantly insisting Brody could never be involved in something so underhanded. Now, with Kit having issued a deadly warning that Mick would face lethal consequences if he defied the plan, the question lingers. Has Mick signed his own death warrant by refusing to cooperate and pleading not guilty? The fallout is far from over, and the streets of Weatherfield may soon be stained with even more blood. Coronation Street, Noah's sick reel plan for Todd and Theo, and it's bad news for Eileen. Coronation Street viewers were introduced to new character Noah Headley in tonight's episode, and his appearance could spell trouble for both Todd and Eileen Grimshaw. Although Noah's debut was somewhat eclipsed by the much-anticipated return of Jason Grimshaw, his arrival is set to make waves with the rest of the Grimshaw family in episodes to come. According to next week's spoilers, Eileen stumbles upon an article in the Gazette that links the family to a fraudulent insurance scheme following Julie's death, and tonight's events suggest Noah might be the source behind the exposé. Noah, portrayed by Casualty star Richard Windsor, was introduced as he met up with old friend Billy Mayhew. But another familiar face, Theo Silverton, recognized Noah from their past connection through conversion therapy. Before Noah's dramatic entrance, tensions exploded at the Rovers as the locals learned disturbing details about what happened to Julie's body after her passing. In front of the stunned crowd, Tracy Barlow blurted out, "Julie ends her life early," and before her eyes are even closed, her partner rushes in to embalm her. Todd quickly chimed in, correcting her with, "Actually, that was me," prompting Tracy to snap back, "Right, so you're all splitting the payout 3 ways now." The heated exchange became too overwhelming for Eileen, who responded by flinging a glass of Prosecco at Tracy. But the room's attention soon shifted when Noah made a dramatic entrance, a moment that triggered a severe panic attack for Theo. In a powerful and emotional scene, Theo revealed to Todd that Noah had once prayed over him during the conversion therapy his religious parents had forced him into. During the episode, the newcomer was seen having a conversation with Steve McDonald, where he learned that Todd and George had attempted to embalm Julie's body before the police could conduct their investigation. Is it true they tried to embalm her after the autopsy? Noah questioned Steve. Steve didn't hold back, revealing, "I'm not one for gossip, but I reckon Eileen benefited quite a bit from the life insurance, so it does seem suspicious." Next week's spoilers hint that someone has leaked this story to the press. Following Noah's discussion with Steve and his confrontation with Todd, could Noah be the source? In the coming episodes, Eileen shows both George and Jason an article in the Gazette accusing them of involvement in an insurance fraud, which clearly unsettles George. The mystery person behind the article is eager to be uncovered. Later, Jason proposes that his mother consider moving to Thailand with him to become his business partner, but her response remains uncertain. Coronation Street airs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.